So we're back again talking with Darren Krein of Farmer State Bank. And Darren, welcome back.
Thanks, Andrew.
And today we're going to talk about the power of preparation and key relationships. And so just like with so many areas of life, it's so important, especially as you're approaching things financially or from a housing standpoint, to have relationships and to plan ahead a little bit. One of the most difficult things, Darren, for us as agents is we'll have someone reach out, and today we've got such great technology. People can reach out, request a showing on Zillow, Realtor.com, so many other online websites. Mm-hmm. They make it just really easy for someone to get in the door. And people get really excited, they fall in love with the house, but they haven't done any preparation. They don't have that very important financial plan in place. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And from your angle, why is something like that such an important consideration?
Great question, Andrew, in that we want our clients, when they hit the market, to be very confident in what they're doing. You hit the nail on the head. A lot of consumers look at the property first, get excited, and then come in and say, how do we put this all together? So in those types of situations, what we like to do is we really like to educate the potential client on having all their steps ready to go. So having their real estate agent, if they come into me first, have you reached out to an agent? Have you talked to anyone that can really fight for you to get the best deal? And then if they start with you, have you talked with your banker, just to make sure that, if you get into a situation where you're confident that you can pay $150,000 for this house, but if it gets up to $175,000, can you afford those payments? And that's where this team approach comes in and says, okay, yes, you can 100% afford it, but do you want to spend that much? Are you prepared to go that high? Did you talk with Andrew about, is this house worth it to go that high? Meaning, if there's a market correction, where are you going to be in 6 months if this has a 30% correction? Is it still the right property to do that?
Sure, very well said. And we see a lot of people that come in and they're really excited. We live, I often say, in the Amazon.com society where you get what you want within 2 days to your doorstep. And a lot of people get pretty frustrated, especially as we're working through a real estate transaction, when all of a sudden there are some other hurdles to jump through, and even more so and even worse, if someone has maybe some bad financial history, maybe some credit repair that they have to do, and now they need housing, they need somewhere to go, but they don't have that financial plan in place.
Yep.
So that really puts the brakes on everything. What are some benefits maybe or some things that you guys are able to offer at Farmer State Bank, when we do run into some situations like this and there are some roadblocks?
Yeah, great question. So one of the things we pride ourselves on at Farmer State Bank is we're a relationship bank. So what does that mean? We don't want to be just a one-off type relationship or a one-way street with a client. We really want to come in and understand how they handle their checking account, their savings account, their mortgage, so that way we can advise the client the best that we can. When you have someone who comes in and wants to just do like a one-off, it's hard to understand the full picture of maybe what they have out there for other debts, and saying, yeah, you can afford this, but not understanding, like, we know you like to go on vacation, or we know that you have a long-term goal to put some kids through college. So we want to talk to you on a universal standpoint of what's the overall plan. Let's put an overall plan together of your hopes and dreams and what you want to have happen. If we just throw money at a solution, you may come back in with the next 6 months saying, now I've got an issue, I need a car, I need other things that I have to pay for, I have to fix the house that I bought. Sure. And it just needs that comprehensive plan going forward.
Sure. For those individuals who are coming in and they're starting, and maybe not even just from a real estate standpoint, but just across the board, what are some other key relationships that you see as really beneficial for people to have?
Yeah, great question. So what we like to do, especially if someone is thinking about maybe buying that first investment property or multiple properties, we want to make sure that they have thought about a long-term strategic goal. So like, how many properties are you thinking about acquiring? Have you reached out to your CPA? Are they on board with what you're trying to do? And have they given you some good knowledge and facts on how this is going to work? Have you got all of your legal docs put together? Because if you talk to an attorney, it's always easy to go out on LegalZoom or any of those other websites and throw a document together. But if you get into some problems, it's always more expensive to unwind that. So that's why we recommend building that relationship early so it's done right on the front end, so you can save yourself thousands of dollars on the back end on unwinding it. Your real estate agent and your banker, having those relationships, title companies. We really want that all-encompassing thing, because when you make those big decisions, you want to move forward with confidence, knowing that you've got all your ducks in a row, and the less surprises that you're going to have or bumps in the road, the more you're going to look at other opportunities and want to use us as your financial institution.
Sure. Well, so important, relationships and just having a plan in place. Darren Krein, thanks for joining us. If someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they reach you?
Yep, absolutely. You can contact me at Farmer State Bank in Fergus Falls, which is 998-7283. Or you can shoot me an email, which is darrenk@farmersstbank.com.
Darren, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks a lot, Andrew.